Welcome to the Forest phoning in, where it's your chance to have your say on Leicester 1, Forest 3. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening. All right, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I just
He's dead, guys.
I fell asleep on the sofa, man. You know what? I set an alarm for 7:50, but I set it for Sunday. Sunday, man.
Oh,
I was wondering why it didn't go.
Oh, so we're lucky you're here, then, basically.
Oh, man, just because my daughter came in and said, "Danny, how are you, mate? How you doing?"
Yeah, man, like you, but I'm still buzzing after yesterday, man. And hopefully most of our chat are as well. But you guys will need to wake us up tonight because I think we're both like a bit forested out at the moment.
Yeah, you guys get to do all the hard work tonight. If you're enjoying the content, as always, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new. The link's pinned in the chat, so anyone who wants to join, you are more than welcome to. But, you know, I know we're tired and everything, but what a game, what a result, especially that second half, man. Especially that second half. That was Cristiano Ronaldo, bro.
It was amazing. Well, I called him Cristiano Collymore after that first goal of his because that
Whoa, are we at that stage?
Well, mate, if you look, I've got to look where he is on Premier League rankings. As now he's level with Big Stan, but that goal was Collymore-esque, mate. The turn.
Is he level with him? He's got to be close.
He's level with him. He's level with him. It's only Brian Roy ahead of him now.
The greatest, Brian Roy.
He's only 2 ahead of him, so that could be gone hopefully within the next couple of games, mate. I hope he does break it because that means he's still continuing on this hot streak. But the guy's unbelievable at the moment, and I don't know where we'd be without him, but probably the championship, guys. But yeah, amazing performance yesterday, all round though, and especially that second half. I think we gave him a bit too much respect in that first half, but Nuno definitely got into him. And yeah, we'll talk about it more, our own opinions tomorrow. But guys, we want to hear from you. Yeah.
Let's start bringing some of the callers on. Yeah, let's bring on Matty. How you doing, Matt?
Not too bad. Yourself, lads?
Yeah,
good,
really
tired, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
Well, it's one of those games where if it goes bad, it ruins the weekend, but it doesn't go bad.
Exactly. What stood out from you, man? I mean, firstly, could you believe, I know we're 6th now, but believe 5th? At the start of the week, we were going on about potentially get 6 points, go 5th. Do you think it was going to happen?
What stood out was the Nuno's tactics. We can finally see now that why we had to change Cooper out. With Cooper's tactics with Leicester, we had a year and a half of that in the Premiership where we have a good 15, 30 minutes and then we capitulate, make silly mistakes.
Yeah.
And I really fear for Leicester. This is going to be their season of just mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. And we just stayed very calm. We had a game plan and stuck to it, and we broke them down. And in the end, it was a very easy game.
Matt, were you happy? Sorry, go on.
No, you go.
No, I was going to say, were you happy with his starting lineup? Because we were all asking for someone to be switched out. Did that make a big difference for you?
No, Alonga, he does do a job. He's not been in the best form, but he has the legs. I thought he played very well yesterday. I thought he had, I think, the most crosses in. It was the most miles done. It was a very workhorse yesterday, and I think that tied out the defence. They looked very all over the place by the end. I think the 3-1 flattered them, really. I think it could have been 5-6.
Yeah.
It was a very... And their goal was a wonder cross where I thought that was their only chance.
Yep.
I had some people saying it should have gone down as an own goal rather than to Vardy. Is that right, or were people just trolling me in the comments?
Oh, trolled.
Vardy definitely got a last
Yeah,
touch, didn't he,
Vardy. It
mate?
was Vardy. Yeah, it was Dominguez should have stuck his leg out. Milinkovic got a little bit lost. Didn't know if there was someone behind them, and just stood off. And yeah, got wrong side of Murillo. It was a very good cross.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think this season it has been very good goals. What have broke us down? What we've conceded, and that's very a good thing. It was like the Wolves goal was a wonder strike. The Chelsea goal was a very well worked goal, but they need their best A game to break us down, which is
100%.
very good for the future of the season. Because if we keep this defense up, we're only going to go up, aren't we?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Were you worried at halftime? I gotta ask you because Owen said it here in the chat that I told him to calm down at halftime, and I was right. We just owned the second half and won the game. Were you worried at all? Because there was a lot. I'm sure they'll all deny it now, yeah, but there was a lot of disgruntlement
I
in
wasn't.
certain bits.
I wasn't worried that much. We knew what Leicester was going to do. It was their cup final. They wanted to show they've the Leicester fans got what they wanted. They got their best team out. They've been calling for these players to start.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, they were all. I don't think it wasn't as bad as people are making out. I don't think Leicester was as good as people are trying to make out. They had a lot of the ball, but they didn't do much with the ball. We're giving them a little bit too much respect in the midfield, and we changed that at halftime, and yeah, made it very comfortable.
What was it? Do you think? And it's something that Wolfie's alluded to, that obviously Nuno sitting where he was, he spotted what we were missing in the first half, and he put it right straight away in the second half. Do you think that was the case? Was that a Nuno?
Yeah, well, yeah. Ryan Yates came out in the interview and said he come down at halftime, said he saw these gaps in the midfield. It was very good tactics, just to tighten up that little area where, and it's shown straight away. What was it, like a minute and a half we scored?
Yeah.
So, I mean, going back to the Crystal Palace game, I thought that was another game where we could have won 2 or 3-0. It was again. I didn't think they had a shot in the box. It was all shots from outside the box, and we are going under the radar a little bit, which I don't mind, and we'll just keep getting these wins, just staying up there. We don't need to be on anyone's radar.
That's it.
What are you saying now, then, Matt? You reckon I'm
I
still
did.
deluded with top 8, or
No, I did say we'd scrape into Europe. I think we'll still end up fighting around there. I think we are a little bit higher than we think. But then again, I say higher than we should be, but I can't think of a game, apart from the Fulham game, where it was very even, where we've actually been the worst team.
I agree with that. You could argue we're lower than where we should be. If we hadn't conceded late against Bournemouth, Wolves hadn't scored a wonder goal.
Yeah, that's the thing. We could have got points against Brighton at the end. We could have got points against Chelsea at the end.
Yeah,
it was a very good win against Liverpool. But again, yeah, we're going under the radar. We're not getting our props, but I don't care as long as we keep getting these wins.
Exactly. Matt, it's been good talking to you as always, bud. It's good to hear you're high spirited. You got loads waiting in the back check, buddy. So I want to make sure we get everyone on for a few minutes. But yeah, mate, it's been a good weekend.
It's been a very good weekend. I'm looking forward to West Ham now.
I'll tell you what, man. I thought it was Sunday today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the weekend's still longer. So yeah, listen, you're a legend, Matt. Good to chat to you again, bud. And we'll catch up shortly, mate.
You too. I'll see you.
All the best, mate. Bye. It's good to hear high-spirited Forest fans. Let's catch up with super chats. Crypto says, if someone doesn't mention the ref, thank you for the £2.
Yeah,
you know what? You know what's funny about this ref thing? I heard the Leicester lot crying about the ref.
Mm.
I did not get it. They got every decision, man.
They
They got
got
every
mo-
decision.
Yeah, pretty much. Certainly in that first half. To be honest, like I say, I think it evened itself out in the end, but there was a lot of yellow cards in that game. There was a hell of a lot, and some of them were for their time wasting tactics early on. When they went 1-0, they started wasting time straight away.
Mm.
You know, so it was worked both ways. He wasn't the issue yesterday, and they can't be using that as an excuse anyway. And I'm sure they're not. But
They
it's
tried
nice
it.
to hear the Forest fans so up for it, you know, because it's. I think we're in unknown territory at the moment. Obviously, for a lot of our fan base who've never seen this. And you asked a question about
I
the promotion.
forget that, you know. I forget that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think you asked it on the watch along with the player ratings yesterday, but I think I remember that 94-95 season, Colin Mulroy season, we did actually go top for 24 hours, and I believe
Did we really?
Yeah, we did. I'm sure we beat Everton midweek, and we were top for 24 hours. But the main thing from that season was as soon as we got into that top, we were in that top 5, and we never dropped out of that top 5 all season.
Yeah.
All season. That was amazing.
Yeah.
But,
Mark, you know, he'll know in this. Mark's weird with the stats like that. And another one of them ones in the chat is Noah with the 199.
Noah.
Thank you so
Nice
much.
one, bro.
Because I'll join in about 10 minutes. He's not eating. He says, thank you so much. We'll speak to you in a minute. Let's bring Michael on. Mikey, how you doing, buddy?
All right, mate. How you doing?
Cloud9, mate. I had Cloud9, but Cloud9 at the moment.
I know if Colesberg did weekdays, eh?
Yeah.
The week we've had, it's not bad. You know, 2 games, 5 days, 6 points. Not bad.
You know, going into this week, let me ask you, Mike. Did you have a feeling that we'd do a Forest? Forest would do a Forest.
No.
We got.
Not
Go
at all.
on.
I'll tell you why. The past 2 seasons, whenever Forest played, you're like, oh God, what's going to happen here? Can we beat these? Are we going to go 1 goal up and blow it again? Not at any point this season have I thought that. Every single game, we look like scoring. And with our defence, there's no team. And people are going to say I'm a bit ambitious here. There's no team I fear. There's no team I can look at and say, bloody hell, we'll be fortunate to get a draw there. With our talent, with our squad, I reckon they should all be fearing us.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Even when they equalised yesterday, mate, I just sat there and thought, we'll be fine in the second half.
In the past, we was like, oh God, Byron get 1-3 again. No, those days are gone.
Yeah.
For me, those days are gone. Now it's like, right, it was a slip. Milenkovic switched off, I still reckon. I think he switched off. Nothing Murillo could do. Vardy got in between and poked it in. But after that, they were rock solid.
And Mike, we're noticing amongst the fan base, because we've all just mentioned it, we're not feeling that way anymore. But do you see amongst the players as well? Because I noticed as soon as they scored that equaliser, they were trying to get up for it, but our players were just focused. They knew what they needed to do, and they just got on with the game. Did you see it amongst the players as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Confidence breeds confidence. Just the defence looks at the strikers, think, right, we've slipped up, but we know they're going to score. We know they're going to bail us out. And the strikers can think, oh, I've missed that chance, but our defence is solid, so they're not going to let one in. So it's just the team as a whole. And you still got to consider the past 2 games, we had no Gibbs White, still got no Sangare, no Danilo, and we're still able to put out a solid team and say, bloody hell, we've got this, that, and the other player who can come in. The only problem is up front, if, Lord forbid, Chris Wood picks up a knock, I don't trust Taiwo to bail us out. So we do still need a striker.
He didn't look sharp yesterday when he came. He looked physically strong, I thought, but I mean, I know it's a small sample size, but that one shot was woeful from him.
I know, it was shocking.
But you know what? I like the confidence to take it. He knew he was at a bad angle, but he thought, I'm going to hit it as hard as I can. Okay, it wasn't a great, he didn't get it on target, but he hit it hard enough. And I just like that he has got that little bit of confidence. That's only going to come for me from him getting more minutes. But I'm happy that Wood is doing enough to keep him out. He's not just. It's not just down to the injuries. It's the fact that Wood is doing the business on the pitch, and we're trying to literally wrap him around with ice around his feet and stuff like that. So we're trying to keep him fit as well as we can, but we need to give Taiwo a few more minutes just so he can get that confidence back.
I will say this: Chris Wood, he needs a load of respect because through pre-season, it was all the thing about Jimenez and Nketiah and looking at other strikers. There's about 10 different strikers on the wish list. And Wood's there, just plodding along, keeping his head down. And he said, right, I'll show you all what I'm worth. And he's done it.
So I wanted to ask you that, Michael. Do you think we will be going in for a striker in January then?
We have to. Because, I mean, Jota Silva can slip in up front, but if Wood gets injured, what's our options?
And then, as Owen's saying in the chat, he's out of contract in roughly 6 months' time.
I'd offer him. I like your idea. Offer him a 12-month with another 12-month optional. He needs to be tied down. And we need to sign Moreno because I think he's on option to buy end of the season, isn't he? Alex Moreno.
He is. I think he's been brilliant. I thought he was really good yesterday as well. But age-wise, what is it? Is he 31? Off the top of my
Still
head?
good though. He's still good.
He's still good. 31, I think he is. Yeah, you're right.
Can I ask you something? At full time, do you think Moreno knew what he was doing with those Cooper-esque fist pumps to the Forest crowd? Do you think he knew what he was doing? Because that was funny to watch.
I think you know what? I just feel that throughout the match he was quite passionate about it. There was one of the I can't remember who we had a chance and missed, and I saw a video of it from the away end, and you could see Moreno on the half lightway line just throwing his fist down like, damn it. I just think he was really passionate off it. You know what I'm saying? I just think he's bought into what Nuno's doing, into us, into the fan base, into everything, you know?
Absolutely, I think it'll be a mistake if we don't sign him. I will quickly. I just got to mention this because it's really been bugging me since I saw it. After Palace, after we beat them, did you see the post match with Alan Pardew?
Yes,
I've heard about it.
That just really wound me up. You know, the disrespect he had to say that. Forest,
the false position one.
Yeah, false position. They'll be losing games soon enough. Back to normal, basically. When we start losing, and we've got a cushion. So when we start looking down instead of looking up, all that crap. I thought, just put some respect on our club's names and what we're doing.
You know what? Thing is, Mikey, that's what I want them to do. I want them to, what you've mentioned, I want them to underestimate us. And for someone like, he's right. One thing I do agree with him, he's right. We are in a false position. We should be a lot higher than we actually are right now. You know, if we got the results we should have got, we all agree that 2 or 3 points so far this season that we should have been better off. But so let them say what they're going to say, Mikey. We'll get on with it. Like you said, we'll quietly go under the radar and go about our business, and then hopefully... It's
not just them. The thing is, if you look at what Carragher said before the match, you see how the revisionism he had. Because I dug it up. I saved a picture of it somewhere. He's got Forest to go down. And then pre-match yesterday, he was like, well, the way they've started, I don't think because I said start of the season they may be in trouble, but I don't think they'll be in trouble. Words to that effect. So he's completely done revisionism. He's not owning up to the fact that he said he had us down. I mean, who does he think he is with Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton? How did he think they were going to finish ahead of us? So I just don't put a lot of credence in these pundits. I think they're very lazy. If you ask them anything about the Big Six clubs or the Sky Six clubs, they can tell you know who the cleaner is there. If you're going to ask them who I don't know, the backup right back is for Forest or for Fulham or something like that, they'll just sit there picking their nose. So I just think they care about where their money is, which is the top 6, mate.
Yeah, that's where his priorities lie. But you got to say this: if you ask me anything about the Ipswich squad, I wouldn't have a bloody clue, to be honest, because they're irrelevant to me. They're not relevant.
But you wouldn't go making claims about them, would you? You know what I mean?
No,
which is what they're doing.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah.
So what are you saying, Michael? Where do we finish? I
said all along, top 10. Anything if we're below 12th for me is a bad season. I think top 10 quite comfortably. We should be in top 10, especially if we get a striker, someone to cover for Wood. Because every other position we don't need any cover. I think we're pretty sorted everywhere. If you think about it.
You lot getting me excited, mate.
Yeah.
You lot getting me excited.
With first one, last time I was this excited is when I was watching Brian Rowe and Stan Collymore and Pierre Van Hooydonk for us.
So, okay, Mikey. So you don't sound it, but you're old enough to remember those days, yeah?
That's not old, Ez. That's not old, mate. To remember those days.
I remember. I
haven't
remember
seen him.
Wayne and Stone on the wings for us. I
Oh,
remember those
yes.
days.
Oh,
That
But
left
now
foot,
I'll tell you
that
what,
left foot with those free kicks, mate.
I will take our current wingers over them two. You know, Sangara. Sorry, what am I on about? Hudson-Odoi, Elanga, Sosa, and Jota. You know, I think I'll take them over Stone and Wayne. As good as
would
they
you?
were, I think
Oh,
our current,
Oh,
okay.
that's a good chat
conversation
question.
altogether.
I
That's
think
a
our current crop are better. I do think our
Oh,
current crop are better. I'll get slated for that, but that's what I think.
You will. You had to leave on that, bro. You left us on a cliffhanger
I've
there.
got to
Well,
say
I
this.
think that's a good question.
I've got to say this. My brother-in-law's watching. He's just sent me a text message saying we'll finish 5th.
That's more like it. I like
That's
that.
more like it. That's
That
Champions League
probably be
places.
Champions League. That'll probably be
Yeah.
Champions League if the coefficient goes our way.
Ooh, Mike, you're gonna have to ring back sometime. We're gonna have to finish off this debate, mate.
Absolutely,
But you've turned it into a debate, but we'll definitely.
Well, you're going to trigger something in the chat. I don't know the answers to that. I think
No,
Ian
I
won't,
don't
man.
know.
Those goals against Spurs, I can't not put him in.
And only for what he did for the club, 3 broken legs and came back. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can.
1 inch miss against Reading.
Yeah.
But yesterday.
Yeah.
So, lovely having you on, Michael. I'm gonna get some of the other guys on backstage as well. But yeah,
I appreciate
that needs more thought. I think that question needs more thought. You know. Cool. Have a good night, mate. I'll see you later.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
So, Chan, what do you reckon? Would you rather have? Let's just put 2. Let's go Stone and Wone versus Hudson-Odoi and Elanga, just because they tend to be the first players.
It was the fact that he was so confident in what he was saying. I'm like,
he was.
I don't know if I'm that confident that I could make that switch. But yeah, maybe save that for another debate.
I'd be tempted. If you want to get yourselves on, make sure you click on the link that's pinned in the chat. All you need is mic. You don't need a camera. And you can do it on your phone as well. Click on that link. We'll have a quick chat. Let us know how good you're feeling. Or maybe some of you are feeling down. It's entirely up to you. Maybe people prefer it when we're fighting in a relegation battle, a little bit of tension in the air. Let's get our next caller on. We are biggest fan on. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm fine, okay?
Yeah.
Happy as Larry, mate. Happy as Larry.
Go on, bro. Tell us what was the best bit about last night, mate?
Last night was just obviously the win we got against Leicester. And obviously it was a very good win last night. And obviously we got the 3 points. And all that matters, obviously get the 3 points and go on to the next game.
And you've been saying, Mohammed, for a while.
Yeah.
You've been having a little sniff at the title. Yeah.
Yeah.
You still thinking that's on?
I mean, I think we are a little bit too far from that yet. I feel like we just sort of concentrate on where we finish this season and then we can, think about the next season. But I think we can get a top 4 finish, maybe. A top 4 finish. If we get a good striker in January and if someone can be trustworthy and score goals, week in, week out. Because I think Tyler, he has been the same since his injury. I'm getting worried about Tyler.
Yeah.
That shot he gave against Leicester, I was very shocked, but I'm glad, he gave it a go. He just gave it a go to see what happens.
Yeah.
But I feel like I saw a clip of Chris Wood getting his foot tied to ice, so I'm not sure if he's going to be fit next week for that game. So,
to be fair, he spoke about that. He said he got trodden on, which does happen, unfortunately, all the time, and should be fine. He should be fine. We've got a week before the next game.
Yeah, he should be fine. But if he's not fine, then Tyler can have a chance to score against West Ham again. So,
Tyler's got a good record against the Hammers.
Yeah, he does, yeah. And obviously, he nearly signed for them, but he signed for us instead, which was very nice, obviously.
That is true.
He's a good striker. I like Tyler, but right now he hasn't been in form. And that really worries me for him because maybe we can get a bit of cash for him. Maybe we can cash him in January. Maybe we can get some nice cash for him. Maybe we can replace him with a good striker. I really want Tammy Abraham at the club.
Tammy.
Yeah.
He's still got it, I think, and he's got
Yeah, I
Premier
agree.
League experiences. I
Yeah,
mean, I
Chelsea,
don't think
yeah.
he'll get in ahead of Wood right now. I don't know
No,
what
no,
he's
not
done
ahead
this
of Wood.
season. I haven't kept tabs on him. It's not
Yeah,
a
I'll have
bad
to speak
shout.
to my Italian correspondent on that one. But he's one that I think a few of us have mentioned. But yeah, I definitely like it. So you're saying you're still prioritizing a striker in the January window?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we get someone that can back up Chris, I feel that would put pressure off his shoulders.
Yeah. Do you think a few in the chat was saying we need another CDM, which I think is a decent shout?
Yeah.
Do you think we need another one? Just because Sangare's fitness is a concern, isn't it? Even though he played well in the pre-seasons and what have you, he's been injured. What are your thoughts on him, Harold?
I feel like they are correct. Obviously, we haven't got another CDM who can back up Sangare if he's not available, and that needs to be talked about going into the next transfer window. How we can spend money wisely and not waste it on players that we don't use. So I feel like it's important that we spend money wisely in the next transfer window and try and improve more positions so we can prove all the doubts is wrong.
Absolutely.
That's putting me off. I was doing some good trolling earlier on. I was off the net chat trolling away. I'm not denying it. All right, West Ham next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the world famous.
Yes.
Anything worrying about them? I think they got Man U tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you thinking? 3 points, or could it be a little bit of a sweaty game, seeing that Lopetegui's under a lot of pressure right now?
I feel like West Ham will give us a game because we can't underestimate any team. Because yes, we are good, but some teams will outrun us. Obviously, we haven't got that. We haven't. I mean, yeah, we have got good players. But obviously, maybe because Man City have conceded more goals than us, so that means we have the second best defense in the league. But in my opinion, we have the first best defense. We conceded less goals. We're not conceding from corners as much anymore. We should go. I feel very confident now when Forest play. It's not like we're going to be a Forest and throw 2 goals either way, or to see stupid goals or give away stupid penalties. I feel like we are more calmer now as a team since Nuno has come in and really turned us around.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And finally, your prediction, mate. So you've down-dialed. I just want to confirm you've down-dialed from winning the league.
Yeah.
You're saying top 4? And that could be like second, third, fourth, mate. Or you think anything 6th and up would be good? I
mean, like the other caller said, obviously above 12 will be a improvement on last season.
Yeah.
You don't want to start the season well and then drop off again. And obviously, the pundits have no idea what they're talking about. They're always talking about the tail 6 and how they're doing well. The team. They obviously just brushing on the carpet and say they're going to do and if they're going to do like a Forest, they're going to drop off and obviously lose more games than win next games. But obviously, if Nuno proves them wrong, and which he is, I think we can finish maybe in the second this year. Wow, that would be the greatest finish since we won the league, I guess. Well, since we Premier League era, our best was 3rd. Then 9th, was it 9th the season after?
Yeah.
I think it was 9th, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2nd would be phenomenal. I'd be disappointed we didn't win the league if we did that. Listen, Mohammed, we're gonna get some of the other callers on, mate. Yeah. And we're gonna have you back after we beat West Ham, yeah? Yeah.
Get ready for the next one, bud.
Yeah, you're an absolute legend, bro. Keep believing. Don't let anyone tell you not to believe as high as that, right?
Never.
That's the right attitude, bro.
Yes.
Well done.
We'll
speak to you soon.
All right, see you.
Look after yourself. Bye.
I love that attitude, man. I love that attitude.
To be fair, he's always been confident. We kind of at times thought he was a little bit deluded, but no, his confidence is paid
he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff.
You know,
He really does. We got Ryan's come on next, and then Elred as well. Just before we bring Ryan on, I want to say a massive thank you to Andy with the £5. West Ham will be a good game, but I can see us coming out 2-1 winners. We beat them every time, if I'm not mistaken, chat, at the City Ground, haven't we? We have.
Season,
It's our first win, and then
we
beat them 2-0 last season because we should have had that penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, thank you so much for the £5. I think it's going to be a good one. Let's just shout out some of these messages and we'll bring Ryan straight on, who's been waiting patiently. As Jay's fell out with J-Lo, we will try and get a preview with him, maybe Lawless, maybe Nikki at some point this week. We'll talk about J-Lo in there. I can't stop. I can't, man. Love don't cost a thing, as the song goes, doesn't it? Jess is in the house. Good to see you, Jess. Okay, let's get our American correspondent in.
Hey.
Ryan, how you doing, bud?
Afternoon, gents. I'm doing well, and yourselves?
Good,
Really
mate.
good.
Good. Happy, tired, ecstatic, enjoying my weekend. You know what? I was watching the football this afternoon or this morning, as it would have been for you. And I don't know if you boys had it. I don't know how the chat felt, but I was almost recalculating who I wanted to win and who I wanted to lose. Do you know?
Yeah.
Did you have a bit of that?
I definitely agree. I was watching, especially that Ipswich Brentford match, and I was like, I never thought I'd say it, but I kind of wanted Ipswich to somehow draw. Draw would have been excellent, but that was an insane match as well.
But speaking of our match, mate, how good were we yesterday? And that's second half. Let's be honest, first half wasn't fantastic, but how good were we in that second half?
Oh, I think we're rock solid at the back. I do agree that we would definitely. I would like some cover at the 7 or the 8, because we're playing our last 3 or 4 healthy midfielders at the moment. But even though I did forget, I was thinking about it last night, but I did forget Ward-Prowse didn't play at all either.
Yeah, he didn't come on, did he? That's a good point. I thought he might have come on at half time just to link the passing play together. But yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
I was watching your stream and then someone said it like we need to bring him on for set pieces. But it didn't never materialized. But I think defense rock solid. Midfield, the change of tactics at halftime made a huge difference. Started to fill those holes. I think going in, Cooper was able to understand from his inside look. Last year, really understood kind of going in what our initial tactics might have been, but Nuno's to be flexible and agile and adapt, which really proved pivotal in the end. And I think one person earlier in the stream that I wanted to reiterate is that in a strange way, being up high and having that vantage point might have done him some favors in terms
100%.
of watching the positioning, patterns of play, and kind of and having that different vantage point, because that's obviously all we see, especially on a television screen. So and you always say, like, when you're actually pitch side or on the pitch or whatever the case may be, like dynamics are very different, speed is very different, and all of those things are very different. But and then of course, I thought if I had to pick any holes in what we did, I thought the wingers could have had a little bit more end product. A lot of the action came through the middle, or at least Anderson, or at least the midfielders going out wide or coming central. Anderson dropping to the left, doing those different movements when we were in possession higher up in the box. I think that Hudson-Odoi had some good moments. Alanga was a little bit lost at times. He was in play. He was a little bit lost. Phased in and out. But I mean, what can you say about Chris Wood? I mean, he's unreal.
Just to go back to Hudson-Odoi a little bit, then, Ryan. I mean, I thought yesterday was one of his best performances. He did everything except score the goal. Every time he took a player on, he absolutely rinsed them, didn't he? I think, like I say, he was unlucky not to score. I think he could have done with a bit more support down that side, but he's really coming into his own as a player that is a game changer, isn't he? He's a game changer. When he's on it, if we can't just rely on Wood to get the goals. We got to rely on other players to be creative, and he's certainly our most creative player when we've got MG Dub out of the team.
For sure.
How easy? So let's say MG Dub's fit. Okay, I'll throw a curveball at you then, Ryan. Let's see MG Dub's fit for the next game. Does he come straight in for you? And if he does, who drops out?
I would. And MG Dub is the only guy who comes back fit. Everyone else is status quo in terms of health.
I'd agree with you on that. Yeah. So who would he be replacing in that midfield for you?
See, this is one thing that I've wanted to see for a while, and it is I would love to see one half of one. I'm going to give you two different options, and I would love to see one half of football one way and another half of football the other way, and that is to alternate between halves. MG Dub in the 10 and Anderson besides Yates in at the bottom of the triangle, and then at halftime or if whatever the dynamics of the game dictate, switch the two. See if that really makes a difference, because we often talked about MG Dub playing lower and keeping Anderson high. I think that Gibbs White is obviously a little bit more deadly and more instead of a game manager and keeping the flow going, he's more offensive in that higher position. But I think that taking a look at, especially against a weaker opposition, all due respect to West Ham, they've been around a long time in the Prem, understood. But they're in a very bad spot now, very vulnerable, and I think that this would be a good opportunity to maybe test both options within a single match. So that's what I would do.
I think Laurie's agreeing with you. So without comment, so basically for you, it's
she's
Dominguez.
just harsh, man. She's harsh. I thought Dominguez worked really well yesterday.
There's a lot of good things with Dominguez that we've seen the last two games, most notably 2 90-minute performances in a week.
That's huge.
That was the most important thing for me. But yeah, no, it's given Nuno headaches again, isn't it, Ryan? You know, and that's the best kind of headaches you want him to have. But has it changed anything in terms of your confidence about this season now? Are you more confident, or do you think we need to just steady the boat a little bit?
He's always been confident.
I think you guys did a really good job of talking about it and highlighting just how important this last week was. Because when you look back on it, hindsight is 20/20. We look back on it and we say, oh yeah, of course, dominant. Like I wouldn't say dominated. Certainly the second half of Leicester, but we're the better teams in both instances, both in terms of where the table shows. But every game in the Prem is difficult. But just in terms of our mentality, tactics, performance, quality, talent, depth across the board. But you know that because we have that on paper, it doesn't always translate to a match. But more and more, we're seeing that actually translate to a match, which is not always the Forest way. But I think that is huge. And you talked about it last weekend in terms of just how these. And then in both matches, I think that the thing that I talked about at the very beginning of the season really came back into my mind as I was watching them, in terms of not conceding from winning positions, and just how many points we've dropped over the last 2 years by doing so. And that is something that we have not done to any similar stretch. We did that against Leicester. We were poor in the first half. You could say that on the balance, 50-50, they probably deserved something from that first half. But I think it really showed in the second half just the calmness and the mentality that that Nuno had still in the squad, because there's something that they don't panic, and I think they have a very unified message. They fight for each other. Yates mentioned that about Chris Wood and how even when out of possession, he goes back, he knows when to jump. He coordinates with the midfielders. They know when they can jump passing lanes or press based on the movements that he's making. That communication, that synchronicity is something that we don't really see from other guys like Taiwo, and really haven't seen from Chris Wood in the past. But because I feel like he's so on form and he's in a high level of fitness and he has that level of confidence, when you're playing well, you have a more willingness to do those things all at the same time. I will say the one thing that I do feel is I do like Taiwo, Big T, but at a certain point, I do think we need coverage at the striker. in January, and I would like to have another either center mid, defensively minded center mid, or more of a CDM come in the transfer window. But I think that aside from that, I mean, if we can find a real, I think at this point, and I've been a big fan of a long time for a lot of other sports, and I feel like trade deadlines and transfer windows in the middle of the season are very tricky because you can really screw up dynamics or you can really enhance them. And I feel like, especially now, we have a really solid core, but what we need are difference makers, people who maybe come in and aren't necessarily all around incredible, but who are very, very good at singular things.
Yep.
Situational. That's why I think Ward Prowse was a huge pickup for us. Even though he hasn't played too much, I think as the season gets laid on more and we focus and tactics change a little bit, the season, especially in the middle part, it gets really grit, grime, very, very tactical, very foul based. I think that having individuals like them or people who are speed based, explosive, good at crosses, can cut back, good from dead balls, good in the air, individual skill sets become more and more valuable as the season goes on.
Mhm.
And you begin to really hone in on certain matchups against certain teams who have certain abilities. And I think that that's really the big thing that we should focus on moving forward, especially in the transfer window and beyond. But I feel like we have, I know I've gone on for way too long already, but
Not at all. Right.
We won, mate. We won. Talk away.
Yeah. And also, so just to follow on from what you said, do you feel like we've kind of got that at the moment? Because if you, I think Wolf used the term closers. If you look at the players that we're bringing on to close out games, the quality, the improvement from Nico Williams since when Nuno came in full stop has been impressive. It's just the quality of the players in front of him that are keeping him out of the team. And Morato, I don't know what more we can say about him.
I love him.
What more can we say about him? Have you got anything else to wax lyrical about Morato, Ryan? What have you seen from him so far?
I mean, he's a handsome chap, that's for sure.
He is as
well. But he's a mountain of a man. He's a perfect foil for Milenkovic. He's slightly less good at everything that Milenkovic is, while being in a similar frame, similar body. I think he'll certainly get there and develop. But then again, I've seen being one of my other teams that I do support and do like is Fiorentina, and I've seen him develop from a scrawny giant coming in from Serbia, coming into the Primavera over there in Florence, all the way to what he is now, and it's
that's interesting. So he wasn't chiseled up like that piece of iron to start with. That's interesting.
No, he came into Florence. Fiorentina has a knack for Vlahovic and all these guys for bringing them from Partizan Belgrade and those squads over there at a young age. And I feel like Milenkovic, he must have come in at like 19, 18. And to see his development is he always had a high IQ. He always had a bit of a temper, which I'm surprised we haven't seen too much of for us. It's a good thing.
Yep. Yeah, because that's something we pointed out when we signed him. He does have, a little bit of a hot streak in him. Yeah.
I personally like that in a player. I like that.
Actually, a centre back.
That's how I am. When I step out there for any kind of, you gotta, and you need that in moments. But I think that Morato, Milenkovic, Murillo. The triple.
That's a really great point that you made, though, about how Fiorentina bring through the Eastern Bloc players, and they've had many fantastic players that have come through their academy. Well, not necessarily their academy, but certainly through their structure over the years, and then gone on to play for bigger clubs and made huge transfer values. But that's great to know. Actually, we might come and ask you for a few tips in the future, Ryan. We're looking at the Italian market.
There's a couple of teams like Bologna are producing some good players. Atalanta as well in the Serie A. Serie A is not as weak as everyone makes it out to be.
What's your take on Tammy Abraham? There was something that our last caller mentioned as a possible target for January. Is he someone who's doing well this season? I know he's had a couple of good seasons there, but how's he going on this year?
Tammy Abraham hasn't. We haven't played. Fiorentina haven't played Roma yet. Are we at Roma anymore? I don't even know.
He's at Roma.
Yeah, he was at Roma. Yeah.
Even though they bought the guy who I wanted us to get in Dovbyk. I wish we had him. Tell you what. Oh my goodness. I mean, he's solid. He's always been good. He's always better in cup competitions. I find he always scores more in he always.
He's on loan at AC Milan. You're right. He moved.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And we actually beat them. I think 2-1 a couple weeks ago. But I didn't notice him in that match. I mean, and I think I would not be so turned on by the fact of going for him. Yes, he is. Yes, he scores goals. Yes, he plays well, but he's only really shown it at a high level in the Italian league. Every opportunity he's gotten in the Prem has not been to the standard that I would prefer. And we've shown interest in him before, and he's opted instead to hold out and go to places like Turkey, and then go to Italy and go to those options instead. And I don't think that that's the right mentality that we need to have in terms of looking for actual players. And he's a fine player, can score some goals. I don't doubt that. He's a little bit injury prone as well. He's not the guy that would be at the top of my list though.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we want a list from you then in time for the January transfer window of possible targets from the Italian league. And if you've got any secret weapons over there at Fiorentina, mate, let us know. Definitely.
I will say, I've had a knack of picking out almost a transfer window that Forest at least go for at some point.
Oh,
Get linked with. Yeah.
Freuler to Nico Gonzalez to Milenkovic to Sangare. I called Sangare, I think, like a week or two before we even were linked to him. I was like, there he is, because I watched him a couple of times.
Right.
And I was like,
well, we can sack him and we can replace him with you, mate. But definitely.
All right, final question, right? Because I want to get Elred on and then Noah on as well.
Yeah.
Update me on your predicted position finish this season.
I'll give you 2. Status quo, no additions, no subtractions. Everyone healthy by the end of the year. 7th.
Like it.
7th, 8th. But if we hit our target areas, the 3 that I talked about, maybe 1 or 2 just really difference makers, backup striker at a starting level backup striker, and a center mid to a center defensive mid cover. I could see 5 or 6, if not 4. I don't think top 3. I think number 1, number 2, and number 3 are going to be Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City. I think that'll be very difficult. But I look at the teams around us: Brighton, Aston Villa,
Newcastle. Yeah.
I look at them and I'm like, they have the narratives. We don't have any expectation. But then again, they say, oh, they're playing free, they're playing without expectation. But we do have perhaps even more expectation internally in terms of our desire and our history and those things.
Yes.
You know, and I think that is often lost because it happened decades ago. But I feel like the spirits and the personality and the expectations, with like maybe not as realistic as you may as most people would say, but I feel like they do persist. And I think that is something that all of us Forest fans, we remember. But exactly, I couldn't say it better myself. Yep. So
brilliant. And I'd love that. I hope you're right. You're right.
Definitely.
I really do. As always, it's been a pleasure, buddy. Thanks for stepping up and having a chat with us. And let's catch up after we beat West Ham.
For sure. And I'll get that list.
Yeah. Start shortlisting some names, mate. We're going to need it for the January transfer daily videos, mate. Cool. All right. We'll catch up with you soon, bud. You Reds. What a legend. I love when the international callers come, man. It's so good. It's so good. Quick reminder, we got about 260 on YouTube, 460 across the platforms. Please don't forget to hit the like. Make sure you subscribed. And let's get our next guest on. Elred, thank you for waiting so patiently. How you doing?
Very good. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Loud and clear.
Perfect. I'm coming down with something, so should be at work today.
Yeah.
Oh, you got
Delighted that I was able to join.
After a huge victory like that, mate, you gotta take it off.
So, where are you
Awesome.
calling from? Where are you calling
I'm
from?
calling from America,
Love it. Love it. What part of the States are you in?
Utah.
Utah. Very good.
Okay, so
You a
what
Jazz
makes you a
fan?
Forest fan out? Yeah, Utah Jazz. Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes you a Forest fan out there in Utah?
I lived a few times actually out in England, over in Cheshire,
Okay.
and I've gone to
Northwest.
Nottingham quite a bit. And yeah, it just is kind of seamless.
Amazing.
I mean, there's only one choice. Let's be honest.
Exactly.
choice.
We know
There's only
that.
one choice. How are you feeling about things, Elred? What's on your mind?
I'm staying. I don't like to shit talk people too much in other teams because I always feel like, they're always gonna get us back anytime I do that. So I'm staying calm. I made that mistake with Nicholas Jackson last season, and he scored the winner against us. So I was like, oh, great.
Been there, done that as well, mate.
Yeah. But feeling good. I mean, has to be top 10 finish.
Mm-hmm.
Is it too
Is that
early?
the minimum
Are we
you're expecting?
too early here, boys? Are we like jumping the gun too early? Are we jumping the gun too early, or are the signs that positive and that strong that we should have a little chest and we should be like, yeah, why not? Why not? Leicester won the
what's
damn
giving you
league,
so much-
didn't they?
What's giving you
Playing
so
a
much
similar
confidence?
style. What he says?
I was going to say, what's given Elred so much confidence this season from what he's seen?
Results. I mean, Liverpool.
Yep.
Mhm.
That was huge. But
that was a big
I
one,
am
wasn't it?
horribly scared about hosting Liverpool because I feel like they're going to come back with a vengeance or something. Freaking.
When do we play them? I think it's in January, is it? Off the top of my head. something like that?
January, February, I think it is. Yeah. towards
Yeah.
the end.
It would be nah, they've only beat us. That's the first time they beat us since like what, 84?
Yeah.
Last year, and
In-
they
in my
cheated
life.
to win. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be fine. We'll be fine. What were you thinking of Nuno, Elred? Are you liking what you're seeing him? Were you convinced he was the one when he took over from Cooper, or has he kind of grown on you and do you liking what you're seeing now?
I won't lie. I've kind of gone back and forth between keep him and
Yeah.
sack him. Yeah.
You're an ant then.
Yeah. Right now it's the total let's keep him. Honestly, it's getting too good at this point to try and throw out the new system he's been implementing.
Yeah. And that's the main thing, isn't it, Elred? We're starting to see a system and we're starting to see Nuno making changes in game, which was probably our biggest criticism of him last season, that he wasn't making the right changes or his changes were too late. He's been a lot more proactive.
Mhm.
Were your doubts over him more to do with his in-game management, or did you just want to go a different direction with Nottingham Forest from what we were seeing towards the end of last season?
No, I love the direction. It was the in-game management for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what's your predictions then, matey? We've seen some decent ones. Ryan Mohammed predicting quite high. Where's your head out right now? Is there anyone you fear? Any team that you fear?
Any team I fear. Liverpool at home.
14th of Jan, by the way, for Liverpool at home.
No, it is weird though, because I'm not even like fearing City at this point. Like
Love it. Love it.
Not even fearing Arsenal after their little, loss to Bournemouth. I was like, oh come on, you guys don't deserve to freaking win the title this season. And stuff like that.
So how high
What
are we
was the
finishing?
question? I think I'm getting off topic. What was the question?
How high are we going to finish? How high are we going to finish?
Oh, okay. I'd say no higher than 4th. I'd say no less than 9th.
I like that range. If we did finish 9th or 8th, though, we missed out on Europe, I would be a little bit annoyed. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, depending on how the season goes.
It's a real pleasant surprise. My preseason prediction was between 9th and 13th. So it's nice to be feeling differently about them.
Definitely. Elred, on a personal level, where you are in Utah, are there any other Forest fans around you? Have you got a Forest community? Is there a supporters club? Is there any others that you are in contact with?
It's just me.
Bless
It's
you,
just
man.
you. Check out Forest all over. They'll know. They'll know there's a few. They don't
Yeah.
know loads of the places in America. Yeah. Just don't talk to Chris. Talk to Matt. Talk to Matt. Chris predicted 3-1, so I'm not talking to him right now. I'm not talking to him. He ruins every win for me because he gets them right. Hate it. Listen, bro, appreciate you coming on. Thank you, especially. I love the international callers coming on.
Thank you, man.
Make sure you call back again, bro. I've enjoyed speaking to you, and we'll speak soon.
All right. Speak
You
soon.
Reds.
Bye-bye.
Great afternoon out there in the States. You Reds.
Yeah, keep a red flag flying, mate. You Reds.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got Noah on next, then we got Davey Boy on, and then we've got Jess, but we don't know if Jess is real or not, so it might just be an AI bot talking.
Okay, fake Jess. Okay.
All right, let's get Noah on. Hopefully he's not eating any food. Just a quick reminder before we say hi to Noah, make sure you've liked, make sure you've subscribed. Exciting crap. Thank you for the 10 months. Forest till I die, news till I die. I'm not talking about. Thank you so much for becoming a member. And as Jess said, I think we read this one out, but just in case, she'll be home in 15 to 20 minutes. That was 15 to 20 minutes ago, and she is home now. Noah, how are you, bud?
Noah, are you there, bud?
No. He's eating. I'll tell you what, let's put it backstage and we'll bring David on. David?
Hey, David. You there? Hello. Has he fallen asleep? Is he snoring?
Is that no? He was messaging in the back chat as well.
How you doing, guys?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
You Reds.
Am I still sounding like a
I
transformer?
thought,
Can you hear us?
David?
participate.
You're breaking up a little, mate.
Am I what?
Yeah,
Can you hear me
go
all
on.
right?
You're breaking up a little. Can you hear us okay?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
no-
now.
Yeah.
Go on.
There's a bit of a delay, but yeah, we
Right,
can hear you now.
Wolfie. Hang on, let me turn.
Mate, it's your end. It's your end.
I am really
do I sound
struggling to hear
okay?
you, boys. Yeah, but it's like you sound like an Optimus Prime or
Tell you
something, or
what,
the Transformers.
David, go out and come back in again. I think we've got Noah ready
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
And we'll get
I
you
heard
back
that
on,
a bit.
okay?
Yeah?
Should we do
Okay.
that? Yeah. Let's
I'm
do
on
it.
Wi-Fi.
No, okay, we can hear you now. We can
Okay,
hear you.
go
Can you hear
ahead.
us?
Okay, yeah, I'll come back
Go on,
in. Yeah.
David. I can hear you now. Go on.
Okay,
No,
bud.
carry on.
Tell us your thoughts on the game, bud. let's start with that.
I'll leave and come
Send
back.
him for two Ronnie sketch, just us.
There's definitely a delay.
We'll get Noah.
All right, while we're waiting for him, let's bring on Jess. Jess, how you doing?
Let's see it.
Hello.
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 Firstly, Jess, are you real? Even though we've spoken before.
Is that a real Jess?
Yeah, I'm real. I promise I'm real.
With the accents, yes.
Oh. Well, you know, Jess, it's not like we've spoken before, but you know, some people don't believe it.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And
Like-
are we holding you against your will right now? I just want to check.
No, completely not. It's all up to me.
How are you doing? I feel like I need to put you alongside Ez just to be a little closer. In fact,
Can I
I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll let you and Ez talk.
Can I just?
Go on, man. Go on, you can. Go on.
Can I just say? I was gonna say, like, in regards to my super chats, I obviously work and I get paid a good wage. So for you doing the work that you do, I just feel like
Jess,
donating
you don't need to
spare cash
explain
that I
yourself
have.
to anyone,
So-
Jess.
Jess, we know it was yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy that people would have that problem anyway. But honestly, as we all know, and we said before, we appreciate all contributions, and you know anybody who does contribute towards the channel is doing us a huge favor. But we do it's a sign of appreciation, and we appreciate you as much as anybody else, and you don't need to. Nobody needs to send a super chat for us to, to read your comments out or bring your comments up. But we really do appreciate it. And Jess, you've been amazing. As has so many other people, and you don't need to explain yourself to anybody, especially not these trolls who've got literally nothing better to do. But so we'll move on from it, But literally, we appreciate every single thing you do. But let's go on to happier things. How are you feeling after last night? How confident are you now after last night?
I'm so happy. Like, you have no idea how happy I am. Like, from watching this, like, from me watching for 30 years, This is the first time I feel like comfortable. Like, I don't feel scared anymore.
And
do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you become feeling comfortable. That's exactly the phrase I think I'd use. The only thing I was gutted about is that Chrissy didn't get his hat trick yesterday, because I think he could, if he'd left him on another 10 minutes, the hat trick was on. But we have to kind of protect him a little bit now, don't we, Jess? As much
as we really do. Like, I mean, without him, we don't have anything without him.
Sorry, I'm getting trolled by Laurie. We should.
And Crypto in the live. I feel like a third wheel here. What can I say?
No, you carry on. You take over, mate. I'm embarrassed. Have you ever seen me go red? Sorry, Jess. I'm actually embarrassed. Sorry, I'm coming off screen.
Just all the flirting he's done and everything, and now that he has to sit next to you, he's lost in the moment. He's gone. But I'll talk to you, Jess. I'll talk to you. Your boy Chris. You doubted him a couple of weeks. Even you, just a little seed of doubt has bedded, and then he's just come back, like firing on all cylinders. How good was his first goal yesterday?
Honestly, I've actually think this is going to sound so bad, but I actually watched it like so many times over and over again. I was like, it was just so good. Like, it was, yesterday was just,
What do you think's been his best goal? I bet you watched the whole thing that Forest released the other day with all his 20 goals or whatever it was. What is your favourite Chris Wood goal? And chat, what's your best Chris Wood goal? Go on, Jess.
It has to be the header versus Palace last season. I mean, that one, or his second goal, and when he got the hat-trick against Newcastle, it was special too. Like,
was that the
but I mean,
dink
it's
one?
really hard.
The little dink, yeah.
Yeah, but it's really hard to pick one. Like, I mean, they're all really good goals.
Isn't it? There's 22 to pick from. So amazing. Did you ever think, when he came, as much as you, obviously you're his biggest fan, did you ever think he'd be matching Stan Collymore Premier League record when we bought him in?
This is gonna right. When he first started, I was like, geez. But I think when he got the equaliser against Man City, I was like, there's something here. There is definitely something is here. And I mean, now look, like, yeah.
I mean, if credit to you calling it out that early. I was still anti-Wood then. I'll be honest with you. I hadn't seen what you'd seen in him, but he's, like some would say, without him, we could have got relegated last season. I've seen some Derby trollers saying Forest would be near the relegation zone if it wasn't for Wood this season. I think they're a little exaggerating, but I get their sentiment in a weird, statistical way. But he's just unreal, isn't he? And you gone all quiet, man. The chat are calling you out here, man.
You know what? Sorry, I am actually blushing. Oh God, I don't know why, but I am. I'm sorry. I'm probably...
So, Jess, you've always been optimistic, right?
Yeah.
And nervous at the same time.
Yeah.
Where are we going this season? Come on, talk some sense to us.
Well, like I said on the last one, we're definitely going to be in Europe. Like, that's I have no doubts about that whatsoever. Like, no doubt.
Clip her, chat. Clip her. We'll hold her to account. It will be her fault if we don't get Europe. Okay. But Europe is a wide scope. It could be as far down as 8th or 9th, depending on what happens with other teams. So come on, I'm gonna hold your feet more to the fire than that.
So we will finish 6th.
You reckon that high? That would probably be Europa football. Shall I say something, Jess? Right?
Yeah.
In a weird way, if I had to choose between Europa and Conference, I think I'd prefer Conference, just because I think we could win it. I'm being honest with you guys. Do you know what I mean? And it would be a good reintroduction to us back into midweek games and what have you. I know we were doing it week in, week out in the Championship, but is that am I being stupid, or should we be aiming higher than that? I mean, the prize money in both of them isn't huge, but if you had to pick one, would you go Europa or Europa Conference? I know it's a dumb question, but I have dumb answers sometimes. Did you get my logic? I think we could win that conference. I think we'd win it this season.
Oh, we definitely could, but there's no reason why we couldn't win Europa either.
Exactly. I like your thinking.
It's a fair point. Shot me down there.
I mean, I like the team is, and it's obviously, we're getting the goals or whatever, but it's like he said last night, without the rest of them, he's nothing. Like, the team has so much strength and depth, and it's just a completely different force that I've ever seen in my whole life, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
I know we should never ask a lady her age, so I'm not going to ask you, but do you remember the Clark era? Do you go as far back, Jess, as the Clark era?
20 more days.
I really don't. I was very small. Let's just say I was.
Okay, so you don't remember it. So, the reason I'm asking is, would this be the best team / football? Obviously, the promotion season was amazing, but would this be the most memorable year? I know we're early days, but is this the best you've seen Forest play in your lifetime?
Of me being able to understand what's going on, yeah.
Yeah. What would come closest to this from what you've seen? I don't think maybe would you have seen the first Billy Davis era, something like that? I mean, there's not much to pick from it, is there? Like when we really pick it,
not that era.
Not the Paul Hart era. You could say Billy Davis V1. The first 15 games under Pierce, something like that. But this is just different breed for me right now.
It's not eras, is it? It's just moments, isn't it?
Moments,
over the last 20 years.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to step back again and leave these two because the chat making me laugh. So, as over to you, mate.
Okay, over to me. You mentioned about, I think you mentioned in the super chat, you've done so many, but about coming down for the Ipswich game potentially. Is that still the plan?
Here we go.
I actually booked my flights, so my flights are booked.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Prior to that, that is in. Let me just check the fixtures, because that is in November. Yeah, towards mid-November. In fact, it's I don't know if we've nailed the date, but we're talking about the 20th of November. We're looking to do a chance for basically you guys to meet us face to face. We will give you the full details coming up, but there is something we got planned for the 20th of November at a venue in Nottingham. So if anybody can get down for that, we'll give you more details as we go on. But yeah, I'll get my Ipswich ticket sorted then. Hopefully we'll meet up.
You're gonna make Jess pay for Ipswich tickets.
Jess isn't paying for anything. You FFTV are paying.
You're not gonna take her out to dinner. You're not taking that. Do I need to step in and help you here? You're gonna take her out
you don't.
All right, I'll step back.
I can take it from here, Goose. No, right, okay. So let's back to football. Come back, bro.
Yeah.
I'm actually lost.
Actually,
go on.
I have a bone to pick with you.
With me?
Yeah.
Go on then.
So So you were in the chat in the watch along last night, and I said hello, and you didn't say hi back.
Did I not? Honestly, when
No.
I in the watch alongs, I literally go in, hit the like button, I tell everybody else to hit the like button and go out. I can't listen to
Squirming,
him.
chap.
I can't
He's
listen to him.
squirming.
for
He's
90
making
minutes.
excuses. The lover's tipped already.
I can't listen to him for 90 minutes. I'm sorry if I missed it. But yeah, that'll be the reason why. So if you ever see me in a watch along chat, I'm not there for long, that's for sure. So I'm sorry if I did miss that. So I'll take a slap on the wrist.
Okay, I'm only joking.
He's a liar, Jess. He's there every minute. He doesn't miss a minute of it. And yeah, I wonder how Laurie's feeling about all this. Oh my god, imagine Laurie was backstage. Well, guys, guess who we got backstage to bring on? No, I'm joking. No, that would have been hilarious if Laurie was there. All right, listen, Jess. We're looking forward to seeing you when you come down or across. And yeah, this has been my favorite call ever. It really has. He's gone from brown to red. This is amazing.
I'm matching my jacket. Yeah. No.
You're an absolute legend. And let me ask Ez a Jess question. Right? What tattoo has Jess got on her arm, Ez?
Oh
my
god.
god. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious, man. I'm gonna just go blanket. She's got an NFFC badge on her arm, but
No.
it's probably not the right one. No.
No.
Oh, Jess, I don't know. I can't remember. You tell me. Put me out of my misery.
No, I can't believe that, Jess.
Do I have to watch it back?
I can't. She's got the coordinates.
I was distracted. Ground, I was mesmerized by the voice. I wasn't paying attention.
Wow. I apologize on his behalf, Jess. But even I know you got the coordinates to the city ground.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
So.
Yeah.
Isn't that so? And she's gone silent. That's it. It's over. It's over.
I'm really upset.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Jess, you should never speak to him again. He's gone silent. She's on mute. She's on mute. She's on mute. Right. He's still there, Jess.
I don't know. Is she still there?
I don't know. Why? My camera. My camera
I'm
just turned off. I didn't put the fan on. It's all going wrong here.
We're going tits up. Right, we've lost Jess, I think, and we've lost Wolfie as well. Certainly his camera. So who we got waiting? Oh, David's back. So Jess, I'm gonna put you back in the backstage in case you want to come back on. And I didn't mean to do that. And then I'll bring David on. David, you back?
Oh, you always have a noise.
Oh, yo. How you doing?
You can hear us.
Yeah, you? Yeah, sorry. I think I know what the problem was. I think I was using a different web browser. I think I had a VPN switched on it.
Oh, sorry. I just had to come on as Scylla Black as a second because watching.
Hey, Benjamin! You got time tomorrow night, kiddo.
Go on, Crypto. Say what you got to say.
I just want to say, this is like some weird dating show. I don't know how it is for you guys. But
I've never been so embarrassed. It was you guys.
Like all your dreams come true in one episode.
And he zorroed it.
I haven't zorroed anything, mate. And don't mention Zorro in front of Jess, mate. No, that's
I did not know about her tattoo. That's not good.
I remember that.
You can go.
Are you all kidding me for? Go on, David. Come on.
Let's get back to the football, as Jolly Ollie's saying. Go on, Davey boy. What are you saying about our true love now, the Forest?
Yes.
The Red Dogs. Oh, yeah. So obviously, like I said to you in the chat yesterday in the Patreon chat, I was at a wedding last night, reception, but I saw the third goal on my phone, and I tried to try and contain my excitement. But we was downstairs, and it was in the Embankment pub. But it was down by the bar, so I was away from everyone. But I was driving to the reception, and apparently the videographer was recording and cutting the cake, and one of the lads up there shouted, celebrating the goal from Ryan Yates. So, but yeah, no, yeah. So I was driving down there at the time, but yeah, no. So I saw the interviews afterwards. I watched the highlights last night. It just looked like an amazing performance from the Reds again.
What were you most impressed about last night from what you did hear or see, mate?
From saw is the finishers really, the cool finishing, cool performance from Woody up top. Because I thought initially Woody headed it and he headed it again, but then I saw it was Wout Fez, was it? Headed it, and then Woody got the second header. So apparently it was meant to be trying to parry it back, but I heard that Hudson-Odoi hit the post, and so Wout Fez was a bit worried. So he was in no man's land what to do. He wasn't sure. He was worried.
Well, from what we saw, their goalkeeper, who they'd been bigging up, and don't get me wrong, he's a decent young keeper, but he definitely should have come for that ball, and he's left his defender in no man's land.
Yeah, I'm glad he did. To be fair.
How did you feel, Nuno? Well, the changes came at half time in terms of the way he set us up. He didn't make any player changes, but what was most impressive about it is that he spotted the problem and he fixed it. And look how quickly we scored in that second half. How confident were you after that we would go on and score another?
Well, this is I saw some of the game, like I say, but I was at the reception, so I only saw like dribs and drabs of the game. I saw the third goal, but I heard I was on the Talking Reds this morning watching it, and it was saying that apparently what's his name? Greg. Is it Greg Oram? He was saying, Nuno was sat in the upper tiers, and that he could see it, the hole in the midfield. So then he plugged that gap, and then
Yates mentioned it.
Yeah. So that's good that he did that, really.
It's a good point though, because when you watch the match from different places in the ground, like if you watch the match in Upper Brian Clough or row A or row 1 at the Lower Trent end, you get a different perspective on what's happening on the pitch.
It is
100%.
true, because I have that with my under 14s. Like from the sidelines, it's not as clear cut, especially like because you're on one side and the other manager's on the other. But when you're like, I'm trying to think, like when you're say in the Upper Trent, you get quite a good overview of the pitch.
Upper Trent's good, yeah, compared to like.
But you want to be side on there, don't you?
Yeah, the problem is sometimes I find when you're in Upper Brian Clough, so if you're too high, if you're in the nosebleed seats back there, the roof sometimes blocks when the ball's going there, but you still get a good overview of the pitch. But it is better to be higher up from a tactical analysis point of view.
Yeah.
While we keep winning, you don't want to keep them up there.
Yeah. If you see a player like Domingo running round from
Domingo
row 1, he looks like a headless chicken. But if you view him from above, you can see all the spaces he gets into, and he looks like a completely different player.
And what was
the passion he brings as well.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Ez.
No. This is your soapbox, man. So it's time for you to speak. But I'm just going to say a quick point from slightly different with Nuno's positioning yesterday. He wasn't just sat in like the chairman's box. He was sat in the media area. So Ant and I were lucky enough to actually got to sit in the media area for one of the
gantries.
And I've got to say, it's a totally different view. It's amazing. They do get the best views. It's sometimes treacherous, especially at the City Ground with the way that
it's not the old stadium, is it like Filbert Street? I bet that had more of a nostalgia feel to it. Like the City Ground.
The City Ground does definitely. You still have to walk across.
It's dangerous getting there though, as the amount of times you have to duck our head under and stuff like that. It's.
Hang on a second. Ez doesn't have to duck for anything.
No, I had to duck.
No way. Ducks for
Ant was with me. Ant was with
me. You know those like fair ride, those rides at the fairground where there's a minimum height. Ez has never been on one. You can't get past the
like Alton Towers.
No. Listen, I'm happy with
no point. You wouldn't even bother making the trip.
This is a great point here by Ifa I was talking to Carlos earlier, and he said the same thing to me. The rugby coaches are always in the stands, and then they're always mic'd up with the guys side of the pitch. And I know, look, I think Nuno by the touchline or Nuno at the top, but Nuno's still Nuno. But it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Like, I'm trying to think, there was a manager who used to do that for the first half. I can't remember who it was. Chat.
It's Cranker. Cranker used to do it.
It was Cranker, wasn't it?
Yeah,
He'd sit in the first half, and then come down for the second. So, maybe there's something in that. Maybe there's something in that.
Well, while we're winning games, we want to have a state. You want us to stay up there.
Yeah.
You know, because Rui Silva, he's got the same passion, the desire, and understanding what to feed to the players.
Definitely.
If he's got a direct line.
Even Rui Silva, mate, like when you compare him to Tate, and shout out for what Tate did, but they just feel like our backroom staff feels so organized right now, so on it, like tactically speaking, and everything else. And I just love what's happening right now at the club. I really do.
There's a togetherness and a cohesion between the whole squad and the management and the everybody involved in the club. It's amazing. I'm just so proud to be a Red Dog. You know, we went through all this BS a couple of years ago with the last game of the season where we got knocked out of the playoffs spots, and then
we don't talk about
a couple of years down the line where I know. Yeah, I was very angry that night. I had to go for a walk.
I think we have to heal ourselves from that as well. That was Forest.
Would you have sacked him there and then? I was so angry, I would have.
Would I have sacked him? Yeah, I didn't want him to carry on the next season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just. Oh God, yeah.
I was fuming at that one, man. And that was Forest doing a Forest. You know when we say Forest? That was Forest doing a goddamn Forest, man. It really was.
And it's the players, and I think the only one who was really bothered, I think, was Lolly, was it?
Yeah.
At the end of the game, he was the only one who looked really bothered about it.
Yeah.
COVID killed us, man. And I won't just blame it on Sabri. COVID killed us, man. It just showed how much.
I'm saying in the moment, I was like, sack them all.
Yeah. Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Man, I didn't want.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to be a Forest fan.
My mate saw it coming, but I was like, no, I kept the faith, and then I'm like, oh shit, it's happened, and then I just went into like,
but how different is it? How different are you feeling now compared to that moment? It's not
over the moon. I mean, like, I was so annoyed at what I heard about Pardew say about us. Apparently, the week before on TalkSport, it was bigging us up.
Yeah, he was. I heard him,
aren't they?
Say again, Ez.
I think they're very flip-floppy anyway. All of these...
the kids who are listening to and who's listening to them and watching.
They just got to make themselves relevant, don't they? So they're not...
Yeah.
They don't care.
Did we get a good analysis afterwards from the Tucker brothers?
Yeah. To be fair, we did. Yeah, from both Gary and Jamie Carragher, they both praised us afterwards.
But
Jamie,
the away fans went at them, especially at Neville yesterday, mate. I was loving it. And then I was listening to the Leicester post-match on the Leicester channel, and they cut across to their commentator, and all you could hear was the Gary Neville song. It was quality. It was absolute quality. But okay, so what are you saying now, Davey boy? Right, where are we? Because look, as much as we should be happy, do we still need to hold to standards? Is my question. Like, should our expectations rise, or should we be happy clappy this season?
I would say just game by game. Don't get too ahead of ourselves, and just keep the big picture there. I mean.
Yeah.
Because everyone's saying, "Oh, yeah, we'll be fine. We're not looking towards the bottom, but we've got to aim for 10th or above, and anything from that is progress." Because someone said, I don't know if it was Greg on Talking Red said, like, if we get to Europe, we might struggle to fight on both fronts in the league, in the cup. But then that said, we've got Alanga and Chow, we've got Sosa and Hudson-Odoi. Sosa and Jota Silva.
You know what? I was thinking about
And
this,
so-
and you're right. He has said that, but I then think to myself, well, surely we're probably best like attuned for it because I know we haven't got many of our championship players, but us as a fan base, we've been used to 23 years of midweek games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
is it that
In
much
fact,
of a stretch? And we add more quality and more depth into the
just
squad?
actually think about it a little bit more now. Actually, the game against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, that was almost second string, wasn't it? We held them to a draw. So I think if now, first thing we need to do is try and get a striker in on loan in January till the end of the season.
Yeah.
But apparently, Mamouche, Liverpool are after him now. Apparently.
Yeah, 60 mil.
Well, we put him on the radar, didn't we?
He's firing right now. He's firing. But we got Cristiano Udinho. But man, what an addition that would have been.
I mean, but if he pulls a hamstring or something, or
exactly
because he's played 2 games in a week.
Yeah.
So, but I just think we need to take it game by game, and because we get a couple of bad results or decisions go against us, so we need to stay like plateau and just aim for where we are and don't rely on other teams to do us favours. Really, if we can avoid it, just be positive. But if we drop a few points, or look, where would we be now if we beat Bournemouth and Wolves at home?
That's what I keep
We'd
thinking.
be right up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, because I've not looked at the scores today because I like to watch Match of the Day without knowing the scores and everything. But I mean, wouldn't we wouldn't we potentially gone top with an extra 4 points?
Yeah, I mean, we
level
were 4
with
points.
Liverpool.
We shouldn't be level with them, yeah.
Yeah, we were 4 points behind Liverpool.
And they'd have a better goal difference, wouldn't they?
They got the better
goal difference.
Mate, it's not even 4 points. Like, I'm sure Nuno will hold his hands up. I think the one mistake he made this season was the formation he chose against Fulham. Now, imagine he'd stuck to the 4-2-3-1 and just slotted Anderson in. Obviously,
Elliot Anderson. Yeah.
I think we would have beaten Fulham. So you're looking, as positive as we are, and I when I talk about this, I talk about it as a positive negative. Like, you could argue we should have 2, 4, 7 more points. I would have us top clear, you know what I mean? But this is football. But it's just exciting.
And we could have been in the next round of the Carabao Cup as well.
Yeah, I am annoyed about that.
And it was a flip of a coin, wasn't it? Really? The penalties were terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. But remember how they celebrated, David? They celebrated like it was the biggest victory of their season.
Yeah.
They need silverware, and that was
they
went with a full strength team. If you remember, as you said, David, we played a weakened side. They played a full strength team, and it only just beat us on penalties. So that tells you all you need to know. But I can see
they
that
bring Miggy on as well.
Yeah, we did end
They
up
brought
bringing
Miggy on, didn't they?
Trying to put him in the shop window for us. We weren't interested. We're still not interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so it's strange about. Sorry, no. I've heard mixed reviews about Elanga, but it's so true. If we sold him, that he's like, you've seen the preseason videos and him, or like Aina, Hudson-Odoi, Sangare. They're just everyone's just togetherness, and there's banter in there. Like when Hudson-Odoi came in with his blonde hair, looked like Cisco, and they're all laughing and joking and that. And that could potentially if we sold him, that Liverpool goal would never have happened. We might have lost 1-0 instead of winning 1-0. So it's a balancing act. Like, you don't know.
You would have seen how they celebrated at the end of the games. Aina, Hudson-Odoi, and Elanga. There's a camaraderie there between them three, but you don't want to break up for anything, So I
exactly.
So
we just got to keep the faith with Elanga and just let him run back into confidence.
I'm losing patience with him. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, but it's well. You think about it this way: if we put, because last season I was saying leave him as a sub because he's got the speed to
agree with that.
Tiring defending legs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but then who do you replace him with? And then because Jota and Sosa, they're a good pairing. So do you interrupt the yin and yang of the 2 and 2?
But these
Well,
are
I
good
don't think
makes
we've
sense,
got
'cause
outright
good
sided.
problems, aren't they?
Yeah, they're good problems to have, but I still don't think we've got.
Yeah,
outright
yeah.
sided, because I don't think we've got that link up between Einar and Alanga yet that I would expect with them have been so close as friends. They haven't really got that on pitch chemistry, have they? Which they need to work on maybe.
No.
I think that's something Nuno's trying to get out of them, which is why he's persisting with that. But we'll see how
Maybe
it
it'd
goes.
be worth switching the Alanga onto the left.
Maybe,
Yeah,
but
but then Hudson-Odoi.
I just saw what Hudson-Odoi did yesterday, and everything but scoring the goal, he was absolutely immense yesterday.
Oh, I don't get that. I agree. Yeah, but just to see how he comes on, if we give Hudson-Odoi a bit of a rest, or give them both for half each, and then maybe stick Silva or Sosa on the other side.
Yeah.
You know,
Listen,
a Big T. We need to. Sorry, yeah. We need to keep our faith with Big T, because I'm sure he'll come good. Because I heard that he said he was getting a bit more fitness last night. It was only 10 minutes, was it? But he's got to keep the faith, because
he looks stronger.
Yeah, I mean, Taiwo scored when he had confidence, like the other season. He scored like 6 games in a row. Woody's kind of doing it now. So now we just get 7 games. Sorry, yeah. So now, if we just get Big T in, if he gets one of his shin like he did against, was it West Ham? Or just one, and then he'll get that excitement and happiness back, and the team will be there for him. Because there's togetherness around the whole team. So
one thing I did notice yesterday, and I was really happy to hear, was how the fans got behind Taiwo when he came on. They sung his song for about 5 minutes non-stop. So the fans are still clearly behind him. The fan base at the stadium, we need to keep the faith with him, because like I've said time and time again, he will play a part in this season in a positive way, and we can't be writing him off, especially when we've only got Chris Wood to rely on. But you've been amazing, David. Thank you for coming back on, because like I say, initially
you're very welcome. Just one quick question
on the 20th, David. Keep your diary free on 20th of November. We'll talk about it more on tomorrow's stream.
All right, mate. So I'll look forward to speaking to you or watching the stream tomorrow night.
Yeah, and then let's talk after we beat West Ham. Yeah.
Yes. Take care, boys. Great speaking to you. Cheers, man. You too, boys.
You read.
Appreciate it. I gotta call Laurie out. You liar, Laurie. You liar. You absolute liar. Wolfie, you lost confidence with Wood, and look what happened there. No, Laurie, I was the reason Wood came good, because I was the one who said when Nuno came in, Wood suits Nuno's system. I have receipts.
He did say that. He's got many receipts. Yeah,
I got receipts.
I'll give him that one.
Yeah. All right, let's try Noah. He is back. Are you there, bud? Are you eating? Are you alive and kicking?
Hey!
Finally, Jesus.
How you doing, bud? You
alright? I brought you on and you just stayed silent for like 2 minutes.
Well, I was eating 20 nuggets from McDonald's, so can't really. Actually, no, wait, I've never got that.
That would have sounded amazing.
I've got like 4 left. But I'm not,
how you doing, bud? You well?
I'm just tired after yesterday.
Did you manage to actually get there? Did you manage to get to the game?
Yeah, I was.
Of course he does. Of course he does. I don't know how he does, but he does.
Yeah, he gets in with no tickets or anything.
I didn't get home until midnight.
Bloody hell!
So like, I just remember coming back and I saw one of the fan coaches. It kept on overtaking me, and then I just kept on overtaking. I kept on honking my horn. I was just like, oh god, why am I doing this?
But you gotta be buzzing, mate. How was the atmosphere, firstly?
Oh, mate. Well, at Leicester, I mean, it's just, it's going to be good at Leicester. Like, even when we lost 4-0, we were still singing our hearts out. It was like, I didn't go to that game, but like, it was a great atmosphere, because I think it's better at night and all, like when just night
under
games.
the lights,
yeah. I was just shocked.
Sorry, carry on. I just need to cough.
I was just shocked. So yeah, it was worth going though, 100%.
And were you singing the Cooper songs at the end as well, mate?
Oh, yeah. And then walking out the ground, every single person was, what were we chanting? Oh God, I can't remember how the chant went.
It was a really good atmosphere, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was there any
oh my
trouble,
God, what's the
mate?
chant? Playing football, the Cooper. Oh God, I forgot how it went.
You'll have to come up with it. But what was in terms of like was there any trouble at the stadium or coming out of there?
Oh yeah, literally. So outside the ground, so like there's a roundabout, like right outside the ground. So I walked up there, and these like 6 Leicester fans were starting on like these 2 Forest fans. They were like pushing each other. I was like, I'm not getting involved in this.
I'm glad
And then this Leicester fan in front of me was getting so pissed. Sorry for the language, but pissed off, like right in front of me. He must have been off his head or something, but he was like, get back home, you Forest. And then he was like, and then he started saying some homophobic crap. And I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. I was just like, you Leicester scum. But it was a brilliant night. I'm so glad I got tickets somehow.
We weren't Ascar.
Yeah.
You muted. Wolf, you muted.
Sorry, I was gonna say, yeah, I know it's not a derby per se, but there's still a little bit of needle in there. I think created more by them, and I think that makes it more satisfying when you're just like, cleaning out the trash, literally the bin dippers, and so, oh, you care about us, do you? Well, 3-1, hold that, So I'm just really happy, and obviously it had a bit more with the whole Cooper stuff, but yeah, bro, where do we go now, Noah? What are you thinking?
Oh, I mean, the Europe thing, I think, is a bit of a push. Like, I would love Europe, but we got 17th last season. Like, I think talking about Europe this season is a bit of a push. I'd say. I mean, I said at the start of the season 14th, but I'd say 12th or 11th. I won't mind that, but if we get Europe, then guns blazing.
Do you think Europe is beyond us? The only reason I say is looking at our position now, you got to bear in mind how many of our key first team players we're missing.
Yeah,
and we're in 5th. So how do you see us with adding those players back in? And
do they get back in, boys? Do they get back in? I mean, someone in the comments earlier said, even on Morgan Gibbs-White, should he walk straight back in? I think he should, but there's got to be a debate there, which is a good debate.
I saw somebody in the chat earlier on saying that he should start, get benched on when he next comes back. I
saw that.
Might be an idea, but you just know, like, we're not the same without Gibbs, right? It's like last season when we played Brentford at home, Cooper benched Gibbo, and he came on and made an impact on the goal. He didn't assist it, but like he was key to that.
He looked angry, didn't he, as well? He looked fired up, didn't he, when he came back on?
I mean, I think it was the right call to bench him, and then he just proved everybody wrong. It's like with Wood. I mean, I'll admit I criticised Wood a lot. Like when Cooper was here, I criticised him a lot. But now he's cooking. Like Ronaldo.
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely on fire. Yeah. Any worries about West Ham, Noah?
I mean, to say West Ham aren't in best of form, I'm saying no. I think we should be favourites to beat them, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just eating the last of my nuggets.
It's all right. You got Laurie hungry now. She fancies
They're going to go at you at the chat, mate. They're going to go at you.
Oh, God, here we go.
We're always trolling, mate. We're trolling us, so you got to be able to take it as well, mate.
These are cold as well. I'm eating them when they're cold. Like,
not the best.
Listen, mate.
So you're going to be there for a West Ham game, mate, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I'll be there for West Ham. I'm basically there for every home game. Newcastle, my birthday's the Saturday, which I'm so annoyed about because we play Newcastle the Sunday and then my birthday's the Saturday before that. So if my birthday thing comes up on the boards, I'm probably just going to cry.
Wait, what's that, the 9th then?
The 9th, yeah. And
good man, good month to be born in, Scorpio. I'm a week after you, mate. I'm a week after you.
Mate.
Exactly.
You Sagittarius? No.
I'm a
It's all about the
Sagittarian.
Scorpios. It's all about the Scorpios.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just don't get banned again, mate.
Yeah, I'll try not to. If we don't get some corrupt stuff happening, then I'll be fine.
And on that note,
yeah. And also, keep the 20th free.
Yeah,
we'll be
20th.
doing something up in Nottingham, so have that
I'm
Wednesday
down.
free, and we'll catch
Yeah,
up
I'm
there.
down.
Cool. All right, mate. We got to wrap up the show. So good to chat to you as always, mate. Behave yourself,
Yeah, you too.
and we'll catch up with you soon. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Take
Yo,
care,
all
man.
the best, bud. Have a good
You're a
one.
legend.
Yeah.
Take care, Noah.
Whoops, I cut him off. Sorry, Noah. But yeah, great stream, guys. We're gonna have to cut it off there. Thank you to everyone who's joined in. It's good to hear how happy you all are. Nah, David, you didn't bore us, mate. We just I'll
not
tell you
at
what,
all,
these are
man.
my favorite things we do on the channel because we get to hear from you guys. I can't stand the sight, let alone the voice of these lots. So you lot coming on and having the chat is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and like I hate my sound of my own voice. So we will see you tomorrow. A few of you asking about when's the next Red versus Blues. I've got something special lined up for Chappie on Grumpy Old Reds tomorrow, and then we'll line up a Reds versus Blues very soon. Let's give him a day or two to lick his wounds first. Yeah. All right. Have a great evening, everyone. We will see you all tomorrow on Grumpy Old Reds.
Laurie. Thank you, Jess.
Yeah. Jess, thank you for making that the greatest call I've ever seen in the history of this channel. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Come on, you Reds.
You Reds.